You know what we can't run?
An anime
Anime
podcast.
podcast. All right, that's good. That was a good one. That one was solid.
The crazy thing is that it's on my end. It sounded like I was early, so this delay thing is just weird.
Well, I'm editing it, so it's fine.
That's true.
So welcome back. It's been
Hi,
2
everybody.
weeks. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks.
Mhm.
In case you've forgotten.
Hope you didn't miss us too much.
Yeah.
Or
I'm
you did,
Swarm.
if that gets you more views.
I'm Swarm, aka Frank. Back again with my good friend here.
I'm Erebus.
And if you guys remember at the last episode, I promised you, I didn't promise, I said that we would have our first guest on the podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, he is here. Please
Hello.
welcome Mora. Just came in early, huh? He's here. Mora, welcome. Say hello to the people.
Hi guys, I'm Mura.
And
I thought you were.
That's
done
right.
with
We
that
brought
small
the
pause.
Mora,
the
the one and
Mora.
only.
No other one like him.
Yeah, sure for Mura saying, but just call me Mura, I guess.
So let's talk big things this week. There's only a few big things this week. Anything you want to start with?
I guess if I'm starting, why don't we talk about well, this isn't really that big of news specifically, but a small piece of news kind of leads into this. Crunchyroll and Funimation have been working together recently to bring us new original anime. And
No. You said Crunchyroll and Funimation.
Oh, I did?
Yeah,
I thought they were competitors. I was gonna say what?
Okay, got it. Crunchyroll and Adult Swim.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Are teaming up to bring us a handful of anime, and announced this week was the Shenmue anime. For some reason,
I'm excited for it.
I don't care.
I saw some pictures of it. I saw some pictures of it, and that's a new thing. Like the pictures make it look like it was an anime from like the 1990s.
Well, that's because that's how the style is.
Yeah, it's definitely made to look old. But yeah, that's only like one of the few that they are working together on. We also got Fina, Pirate Princess, and Blade Runner Black Lotus.
Yeah.
Which is all cool.
Big things, big things. Mm-hmm. I'm excited for all of them across the board.
I don't care for Shenmue. Fina, Pirate Princess. I think the animation looks good. I wasn't a huge fan of designs, but maybe seeing them in motion will change that for me. But I love Blade Runner, so
going by the titles and their sort of gimmicks, I guess I think Blade Runner would probably be the safest one.
Mm-hmm. And not the first time we've seen a Blade Runner anime either.
Yeah. We did have one before, and I thought it was pretty good too.
Well, is this like a sequel to the movie, or is this like...
I'm not sure how much information we have on this. Just going off the top of my head, I'm just going to assume it probably is just, something set in the same world as other Blade Runners.
And we're talking about Black Lotus, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I believe it might act as a sequel towards the first anime.
Yeah, Blackout.
But not in the exact way to where it's, you have to watch one before the other.
Yeah.
But I'm excited.
Yeah, cyberpunk anime has been a real big trend, especially ones associated to other properties. Like the literal cyberpunk anime we're getting next year or the year after.
Yeah, I think it was 2021, I want to say.
Yeah, so next year. So yeah, it's very exciting. Cyberpunk is always a thing that's very much rooted in like a modern Japanese culture. So that's going to be a really fun thing to see.
I think it's also interesting to note how the Cyberpunk one, I believe, is called Edge Runners. So we got a lot of runners coming in.
Yeah, I'm not familiar enough on Cyberpunk lore to know if that means anything.
Neither am I.
Yeah.
Neither am I.
But what I do want to make sure everyone takes note of is that another big, partnership has blossomed between companies with Funimation and Viz Media.
No way. Adult Swim and Viz Media?
Funimation,
Oh,
and Viz
sorry.
Media. So before this, back on I want to say Tuesday, Funimation added a few shows: How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend, The Astor Score, Makaku City Actors, Plastic Memories, and Vivid Dread Operation from Aniplex. And
Mhm.
that's those are a nice, good 5 shows to have on your roster. Okay, look,
I wouldn't.
all right.
Plastic Memories was good, at least.
So with this whole collaboration with Viz Media, they announced that they're bringing 5 more titles coming on September 22nd, which are going to be Terraformers Revenge, Copper Lion, Gargantia, and Megalobox.
Is Terraformers Revenge considered a separate show? Isn't that the second season?
It's
Or is
hard
it
to
a
explain.
Is it a spin-off?
It's hard to explain.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great. Ever since, because Viz hasn't had a dedicated streaming service ever since. What was it called? I want to say it was called Neon Valley.
Neon Valley.
Yeah, Viz used to have a streaming service. I think that was Hulu based, like in 2014. But then that never picked up.
I could have swore they just had their
their website.
Yeah, like their Viz website where they streamed stuff.
Yeah, but like back then, like they also had like I think it was still on the Viz website, but they had it under a name.
Neon Alley.
Neon Alley. I was close.
Yeah, Neon Alley, and it joined forces with Hulu.
Yeah.
Or not joined forces, but they just kind of let it be carried by Hulu.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm really glad for that. Viz, a lot of the shows haven't been available for streaming, so it's been kind of hard to watch some of them. Like, I had an example in my mind, then I forgot what it was. But yeah, definitely very excited for that partnership.
Yeah, I think they're gonna have a lot of good fun together.
Funimation.
Funimation together.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to also bring up there's a YouTube video going around of and Mora, you'll probably want to take note of this because I know you might be interested. A couple blacksmiths, I believe Matt Stagmer and I don't remember the second person's name, but they forged the King's Spirit Spear from Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh,
And let me just tell you, this video is mesmerizing. The artistry, it's just amazing. I recommend it to anyone who might be even a little bit interested in seeing how they did it. I remember they also done Asta's Demon Dweller Sword from Black Clover, and I believe they also did Escanor's Divine Axe from Seven Deadly Sins as well.
I remember seeing the Escanor one. Yeah, they had some problems with the handle because it was like an improperly like balanced handle.
But that's what I wanted to bring to the table. Those two tidbits of news for you. How about you? Anything else, Erebus, that you want to get into the open?
No, it's kind of the main news that I've had. Surprisingly, pretty slow news week for the last 2 weeks, but pretty big news regardless, especially the Funimation and Viz Media collaboration.
Mm-hmm. Big stuff is coming. I keep saying it every week. Big stuff is coming. It may not be here yet. It may not come next week, but it's definitely coming.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing about having a guest here is that we really wanted to try out some games with them.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a perfect time to unveil our newest game.
I agree.
Game. So welcome. Oh, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Are You Smart Enough to Distinguish Between real, and fake light novel type names.
Woo!
I did not forget to name my own thing. While I was
Yeah.
reading it.
You made an entire slideshow presentation for this?
It's not hard to do.
Well, I know
Takes-
that, but it's just kind of funny.
We put in the effort around here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No one's
so
going to be able to see it because this is a podcast, but we put in the effort.
so the name of the game is, again, are you smart enough to distinguish between real and fake light novel titles? As you can assume, we're going to be having our guest here, Mura, distinguish between real and fake light novel titles.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so we have 4 rounds for this version. There's going to be 2 options, and he has to choose between the 2 of them to see which one is real.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like true or false, basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Let's get
All
going.
right. So you ready?
Yep.
All right. So I have this structured so that Swarm, you'll go first, and then I go second. Is that okay?
That's fine by me.
All right. So round 1.
Round 1 is my personal maid won't call her master, but at least she is an MI5 agent.
Now, is it that, or is it the probability I can kill my wife without being found out?
I was thinking that the first one was fake because the sentence didn't make sense grammatically. But the second one just doesn't sound like a real freaking light novel, so I have to go with the first one.
All
being
right.
the one.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All
Who's
right.
watching, his answer was my personal maid won't call her master, but at least she is an MI5 agent.
And I probably should have thought to do this, but I didn't put in the thing that says which one was the right one. But the correct one is Swarm.
Probability that I can kill my wife without being found out.
No, you're lying.
That's the real one.
That's the
Oh
truth.
my god. What kind of fuck?
Do you see how this game becomes fun?
What kind of fucked up light novel is this?
Go
I mean,
read
it's
it and
pretty-
find out.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, are you ready for round 2?
After seeing round 1, I don't think I'll ever be ready for round 2.
All
Too
right,
bad.
round 2.
Here we are.
All right, so first one is
The villainous noble girl wants to slim down her husband.
or Anohana, the flower we saw that day.
Okay, so I know it's the second one because I know that's an actual like thing. Because I've seen
All right.
ads for that one.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
All right, and the real answer is the villainous noble girl wants to slim down her husband.
I swear to God.
Anohana doesn't have a light novel.
It does not.
Oh.
You've been tricked, duped, bamboozled, dare I say, marooned. You're not doing too good at this, but perhaps you can salvage the next 2.
Yeah, I'm sure you can pull out a win.
All right.
All right,
And-
round 3. So we in this corner we have
I'm a successful light novel author at a boys' high school, but I'm being strangled by a female classmate who's a voice actress and is younger than me.
and in the other corner we have, and just like that, my closet has become a 5-star hotel for cat girls.
I don't think I want either of these to be real.
Well, too bad.
I really hope that it is the second one and not the first one.
Is that
So
your final answer?
Yes, that is going to be my final answer.
All right. And the real answer is
I'm a successful light novel author at a boys' high school, but I'm being strangled by a female classmate who's a voice actress and is younger than me.
Is this hell? Have I
Yeah.
just died and gone to hell?
Maybe.
Like,
If I'm not mistaken, this is the light novel with the longest name ever.
All right. And so, are you ready for the final round?
This is it. Your last shot at glory.
All right. So, our first option is,
I used my cheat skills to overthrow the demon lord.
or is it Golden Time?
Erebus, I hate you so much because I know you did this one.
Well, what do you choose?
You go with. I want to say the first one is the light novel.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, I guess so. Because I'm pretty sure Golden Time was was an original work, not an original work, but something that wasn't a light novel, like the same boat as Anohana. So I'm gonna go with I use my cheat skills to overthrow the demon lord.
And the answer is
Golden Time.
Oh my god!
man, you 0 for 4. You know, we'll have to have you try again sometime.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks for playing. This has been.
If you're
What's the name of this game show again?
if you're watching this, I've been captured and I'm being forced to endure brutal torture. Please call the proper authorities.
This has been.
Somebody send help.
Are
you smart enough to distinguish between real and fake light novel names?
Why does it say you're streaming EDO Pro?
Don't worry about it. Anyway, so that was a fun game. I think
and you everyone at home, I hope you were playing along. Send in your answers.
Yeah. In the comment section below, I want to know which one you picked and why.
Yeah.
And your score. I want to know your final scores.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and tell us which one of these you'd want to be real if they weren't real.
You'll regret every second of it.
Nah. Now, Mora, I wanted to give you a small spotlight to perhaps talk about how anime has impacted you as a person, your, development, your growth, your morals, your values. Has anime had any influences in special parts of your life that you wish to highlight and make known to the world?
I mean, I don't think it's like influenced me in that regard, like to a major extent like that. Like, I guess I do watch quite a bit of anime and I do get like entertainment out of it, so there's that, but I don't think it really like has
Small impacts work as well, as maybe it's just something to take your mind off things, maybe it's just background noise while you're doing something else, it's
so
has it affected your politics in any way?
Oh god. Speaking of politics, we're gonna get into that later because I got something to say to you.
Oh my god.
So I know exactly what he's talking about.
I think the first ever anime thing I've ever saw was back way back when, probably when I was in first grade or kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
But Disney Channel would have the special full length featured movies on occasion. So with Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon.
Mhm.
and I can't remember
Not sponsored,
which.
by the way.
I
Not
can't
sponsored at
remember
all.
which channel it was, but I think I want to say it was Disney, but I think it might have been Cartoon Network. But they were showing Kiki's Delivery Service, and that was like the first like ever like true anime that I saw, and I just loved the entire like film all the way through. So
Mhm.
then that's what like really like ignited my like love for anime was that one Studio Ghibli film. That's why like when people say like oh Spirited Away is like the best Studio Ghibli movie or
They're
like
wrong.
Howl's movie Castle is
That's
like
right.
the best
Oh my
Studio
goodness.
Ghibli movie. So in my mind, the best Studio Ghibli movie to me is always Kiki's Delivery Service because that's what started my love of anime and like animation like that.
Mm.
So I guess it impacted me in like wanting to like seek out more like because I was like a young kid at that time, like you know kindergarten, first grade, like people's imaginations run like really rampant during that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess like that like influenced me to like seek out like I guess things that would give me like sort of a thrill of adventure or like because like the way the movie goes, she like leaves home, goes to like a different like big bustling town, and then to try and like make a name for herself when she and become like a full-fledged witch on her own without anyone helping her. So she like it's about her getting to a new town and then meeting all the people there and then adjusting to like new life and having like all sorts of like fun adventures. And then she has like the she starts her delivery service and then she goes out and sees more of the world because of her delivery service. And then she meets like all the like the bunch of different people throughout her like delivery service and stuff like that. So I thought like that like really I guess ignited like my young mind's like thrill for seeking adventure and like I guess looking for like stuff that gives me thrill of adventure like that. So because I loved like that aspect of the movie, which like when she goes out and like I think one of my favorite moments is I forget what delivery she was doing exactly, but like I think she crash landed in like the pine forest nearby. And it was like the middle of the night, and that's when she met like the artist girl who lives in the forest. And she saw how like similar the artist girl was for her, like was to her, because she had like a similar like history where she like left home to make it big, and she lived by herself in the forest and like had like was friends with like the crows, and she like so she's like the she's like she is successful not in like in terms of like money, but she was like successful in that she was like happy where she was, and that like presents to Kiki like the end goal, so to speak. So I thought that was like a pretty like fitting moment. Um, I
That's
think
big.
yeah. So I guess that's like the one that like started my like for anime and animation and manga and stuff like that.
And it's big. It's a big movie and had a sizable impact on you. You see, you said you didn't have that much of an impact, but you see, you really got into it, and it sometimes it hits. It hits a little bit different sometimes.
Mhm. Yeah, I didn't realize how big it was until I started talking about it more in depth.
That's a little bit of the secret of it. You know, you never realize how much something you may have seen or heard or just happened to glance over one day when you didn't even notice it could end up, sparking this whole different thing that you want to seek out or that gives you the small sense of enjoyment or fulfillment to watch or just simple things like that where it just brightens up your day or just brightens up your entire mood just to see something happening.
And that's what therapy is really all about. Discussing the little things and seeing how they affect you.
Oh my god. Okay. I think it's time we talk about these recommendations.
Yes.
I was given Inuyashiki.
Hmm.
Oh, is that the one where, yeah, like, never mind. I don't want to actually.
Well, let's give a brief summary before we discuss before you discuss the show. Then,
I mean, yeah.
for the listeners who might have forgotten, it's been 2 weeks, or for Mura right here. So in a Yashiki, actually, you know what? You just recently watched the show. Do you want to give a summary?
Oh, perfect. So yeah, this show was it an Amazon original?
Yes.
A Amazon original about a 58-year-old man, and
Who looks like he's 70.
who has old man face, and
58 is pretty old in its own regard, but
huh?
I mean, 58 is pretty old in its own regard.
Yeah, but he was especially old.
Mm-hmm. People thought he has a daughter, and people thought he was her grandpa.
Yeah. And it follows the story of Ichiro Inuyashiki, who is down on his luck. He looks really old for what he is, and he just recently found out he had cancer. And he only thing he had left that he truly felt cared about him was this dog that he picked up, who was a stray, and he cared about this dog a lot. So one day, while drowning his woes, crying with his dog in the park, him and another random stranger individual were involved in I'm going to call it a DUI by some aliens.
Yeah, an alien hit and run.
Alien hidden. Okay.
Yes. And they realized what they did and decided just fix them up with whatever we got laying around, which only happened to be weapons. So both this young boy and this old man are genetically re-engineered to be living weapons. And it really comes down to both of their psychologies on what they consider being human, and more importantly, the feeling of being alive. It plays a big part in this show due to how they go about understanding the feeling of being alive still. Now, my thoughts on this show. I loved it. It had one thing I hate because I hated it in any show. I spoke a bit about this in back when I gave my review of Yuri Kuma or Shy, and that's I hate it's me personally. I hate when people mouth sound effects.
What do you mean?
Man, you
now?
must have hated most of the scenes with.
I did. Every garu 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 garu. And but for this show, it wasn't really the iconic bang. It wasn't that. That's fine. That's cool. I'm fine with that. It was the for every time they wanted to rapid fire. Even though there's scenes where they can do it without saying anything.
Wait, so they had to say the sound effect?
No, they don't have to.
They don't have to, but they do.
It's a mental thing, It's like if you make the noise, it helps you more visualize it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so if they don't make the noise, it's like they have a silencer on it.
No, they just no, they could do it like I don't know.
Yeah,
Sure,
it's in its own effect, but so it's just the difference is, if you close your eyes and you think about what you're looking at, you're imagining a person holding up their hands as if they had a gun and going and rapid firing at you.
I just want to quickly talk about that for a second. This is I don't think I'm going to consider this a spoiler, but okay, so there are two modes to this, which is normal, which is that's like a point a finger at somebody and then make a noise.
Yes,
and then there's the opposite one, which is that you put your arms down as if you're holding the thing, and then you shake them back and forth. What confuses me about this is that I was under the impression that the finger was where the attack was coming from, but the second attack proves that is not true.
Exactly. And I really like the duality between the two characters and how their stories are intertwined but not in enough way that they cross paths every so often.
Mhm.
They know of each other's existence, and they're both known of each other, and they don't like one another just by nature alone because they're complete polar opposites.
Mhm.
But there are a very, 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 very large amount of things that I love and appreciate about this show. From when you're first trying to fly and you don't know how, so you just start singing Astro Boy,
Mhm.
to Donald Trump giving his "Screw you guys, I live the good life"
In English.
uh, in English speech while a meteor is getting ready to crash into the planet. It's just there's a lot of things in the show that even if you're like if you're looking for something that'll make you feel bad about laughing, there's a lot of moments in this show. Uh, Especially coming from the younger character who has his own set of issues and problems that I don't think therapy could solve at this state.
Mhm.
And it's a thrill ride. There's only 11 episodes. I was really confused because I was like, "Where's episode 12?" There was none. But I think it's definitely a show worth watching. And if you have what was an Amazon Prime subscription, then you should definitely check it out. I give
Yeah.
this show a solid mechanical old man out of 10,
Mhm.
which equals about a 20.
Nice, nice. I guess then I'll be start talking about my show. So I was given Hanebado to watch. Hanebado is a show that is, to put simply, it is about people in a badminton club and their unique experiences with badminton and their love for the sport. This show, I'm just going to clarify to begin with. I like this show. It's good. It has really, really good animation. Sometimes to a fault. Sometimes it'll be like, oh man, the motion of like these characters moving and playing badminton are really good. Unfortunately, still have the exact face of an anime character, and they look like, and they have and it looks like they have a human body. So little bits like that, it doesn't happen often. It was like, especially just one time with like the brown haired guy in the badminton club. I noticed this, and I was like, this, like, if I just cover up the top half, it looks really good. But yeah, so yeah, that's really good. The music is well used. The opening is a fun opening. And yeah, so
Well, I'm not gonna let you get away with that. I want to hear your thoughts on Ayano's bad side,
Aino's bad side.
her dark side.
Okay, by that, do you mean when her eyes like fade out, or
Uh
do you
huh.
mean when she has a man face in episode 11, when she in the final match?
The first one, her
I mean, what's
complete.
there to say about it?
Should we get this girl some help?
Oh, absolutely. Like, Aino is a strangely tragic character for a show that is about people playing badminton in high school. That is what the show is about. Like, it's outside of her, it's not that much deeper. But like, it's so, oh my god, it is just okay. So the writing of this is weirdly confused at some, like, toward the end.
Hmm.
Okay, so the first 7 episodes of this show introduce a new rival in every episode,
Hmm.
and half of them are Ianos. It is just awful. Like, whenever you see a flashback of hers, it is usually horrible. It is just insanely horrible. And okay, to go into this, there is one character, I believe her name was Connie, who was the
Anya,
most
yes, the blonde.
confused character to me.
Yes, she
So
was.
she had specifically 2 episodes dedicated to her. Her personality completely flips between
Mhm.
those 2 episodes.
Mhm.
The show is very. I think at some point the show realized that it was going a bit too heavy on stuff, and I was like, "Oh no, let's try to fix that." But unfortunately, at that point, they'd already written Ayano to a point where they couldn't go back from it. I'm not going to say too much more. I think I've spoiled it too much already with what I've been saying. But yeah, it's
I
just.
think it's perfect right there. Yes.
Mhm.
So what's your rating? Let's hear it.
I would give this. Yeah, I would give this a 45-30 out of 10.
Okay. All right.
That's a tennis score. That's not going to make sense to anybody.
I
I
understood
got
it.
it.
Yeah. And that's those were this week's. So for the next upcoming 2 weeks, we have new ones to give out. Let's hear what you got.
All right. So my recommendation for you is Dorohedoro.
Dorohedoro.
Are you familiar
Okay.
with it?
The name sounds familiar, but I don't think I've seen it.
Okay. Now, not to confuse this with Dororo, which came out the same year.
Yeah. No, it didn't.
Dorohedoro. Yeah, I know. I don't care. Dorohedoro is an anime. It's about this guy who a sorcerer turned his head into a lizard head, and now he wants revenge.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of this. Okay.
Yeah, and that's the show. Like the show is about like a large supporting cast around this, but it is like at its core, it is about a man whose head was turned into a lizard head and wants to kill a sorcerer. This is also modern day. I want to make sure it's understood. Well, like it's like a weird alternative modern day, but like
Mm-hmm.
aesthetically, it's like a grungy modern day.
Mm.
All right,
So
so
yeah,
he's just walking around the middle of like a bustling city, and then his head just turns into a lizard head.
I don't know. You've got to watch the show to find out.
For you, I'm going to give you the amazing story of Hitori Bochi.
I've already seen that. We've
Have
talked
you?
about that show.
We have?
Yeah, we've extensively talked about that show.
Why is it not on your list?
Because that was around the time period I forgot to put shows on my list.
Fine. Then my next show, it's a good thing I had a backup prepared, is Teasing Master Takagi-san.
Surprisingly, I've not watched the show. I have read the sequel manga of this show.
Perfect. I don't care then. You can still watch it.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, Teasing Master Takagi is about a girl and boy, young love story, and she is over the heels enjoying tormenting him by making him blush by teasing him in a day-to-day life. You know, it's a slice of life show. It has a lot of funny moments, and it's a really, how do you say it? It's really well paced to where you feel like it's the type of thing that can go on forever.
Yeah.
And that is my recommendation to you.
All right.
Yeah, so those are recommendations out of the way. Mora, I am imposing a challenge upon you.
Oh,
I want you to pick one of these shows to watch, and I would like a statement for next episode. I will read your statement out loud to the people for what you thought for one of these shows, and it'll be included in the same segment that we are doing now, which is the new recommendation segment or the old recommendation segment.
Out of curiosity, when you say he has to pick one of these shows, does that include Hitori Bochi, or is that?
No, that one doesn't count anymore.
Okay, got it.
It's not your recommendation, so it's
Just
between
checking.
the two recommendations, which is Takagi-san and
Dorohedoro.
Yeah. So
What if
between
I-
those two shows,
what if I watch both and then write a statement about each one?
I mean, you can do that too if you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you want to go above and beyond, good for you.
Yeah, you know, like I said, we put in the effort around here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But with that, this has been We Can't Run,
An anime podcast.